Good morning, Trinity Baptist Church. I was thinking this morning, we've been in the New Testament a lot. We started in Psalms way back in, I think, March. But then we went to Philippians, and lately I've been choosing, and other than a couple times here and there in, I think, Exodus and Ezra, we have mostly been in the New Testament. What about the New Testament, or the Old Testament? How does it guide us in these times? I want to go back to a passage that I've thought a lot about in the last month. I ended up sharing it with the elders as one of our elder devotionals. I shared it with the youth at one of the youth nights, but I want to pass it on to all of us as a church because in it there are a couple different lines that I've just been thinking about and how they pertain to our time, how this passage of God's Word gives us courage for these days in 2020. Esther ends up in a position she probably thought she never would be. As a little girl, I imagine she didn't think somebody like her could be queen, and yet she is made the queen at the beginning of the book that is named after her. But things quickly fall apart. She thought this would be a good and rich and pleasant season, but she comes to find out that Haman, for whatever reason, has a vendetta against her people and is out to kill all of her people, the Jews. And so her Uncle Mordecai comes to her and says, Esther, this is what's going on. Our lives are in danger. You're the queen. You have to do something. Esther doesn't really want to, because she says, no, you don't understand. I am the queen, but in this place, in Susa, even the queen can't walk in and tell the king what to do. If I do that, it's illegal. The king would have every right in the law to kill me. It was not a democracy. And what unfolds in Esther chapter 4, verses 12 through 17, is striking and, to me, quite encouraging as we try to face the things we did not expect to be challenged with today. The people told Mordecai, or the messengers, I should say, told Mordecai what Esther had said, so then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther. Don't think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, Go, gather all the Jews to be found in Susa and hold a fast on my behalf, and do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my young women will also fast as you do, and then I will go to the king, though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. Mordecai then went away and did everything as Esther had ordered him. And like Esther, we are faced with problems we don't want to be faced with. From the big, loss in our society, big economic loss, all these different things, from the big to the small, like thinking, I wish I could just get together with friends without having to figure out, are we going to wear masks? Where are we going to meet? How are we going to make it healthful? How often should I get together with friends and family? But Mordecai's question is well put. Who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Of course, the implied answer is, because God is sovereign, you have. You have been called for such a time as this, and though it may seem like this is too much for you or for me, God is with us and not surprised. And he has chosen us for this time, because he knows that as we trust in him, he is enough for this time. And I think Esther's reply is wise. She realizes, perhaps I have been prepared for such a time as this, and so she says, go and pray. Go and fast and pray, seek God, and then I will act. And if I perish, I perish. So like Esther, I would encourage you, considering that God has prepared us for such a time as this, to respond with prayer and courage, and to know that he is with us.